All right, everyone, dive in with us today as we take a look at something pretty unusual. We're doing a deep dive into this business plan we found, and it's for something called Atlantis Sea Colony.
Yeah, this one is wild.
Definitely not your typical real estate venture.
Not even close. I mean, the sheer scale of what they're proposing. They want to actually make ocean colonization a thing. Like, for real.
Okay, so hold on. We're not talking about, like, a few luxury underwater hotels for the super rich?
Nope. They're going for something much bigger here. It's about making underwater living attainable, more accessible.
More accessible, huh? That's a pretty bold claim. When I think underwater living, I think of those cramped research stations, and those aren't exactly known for their affordability.
And that's where their approach comes in, right?
Yeah.
They call it the blank canvas concept. Essentially, they're developing these modular underwater structures. Imagine like high-tech building blocks. You can stack them, connect them however you want.
So you could have anything from a single underwater home to a whole, like, underwater resort, all from these building blocks.
Exactly. That's the idea. Residential, commercial, you name it. They even talk about using these structures for things like data centers, which actually makes a lot of sense when you think about it. The ocean can be a fantastic source of natural cooling. Imagine the energy savings.
Underwater data centers, huh? Now that's thinking outside the box. But, okay, let's say they can pull this off. Who are they picturing as their main customers for these underwater neighborhoods? Is that even the right word?
Well, they've identified two main groups. First, you have your ocean enthusiasts, right? Those who've always dreamt of living beneath the waves.
So your underwater Airbnbs, that kind of thing.
Exactly. But it's not just about vacation rentals. They're also targeting businesses.
Businesses, really?
Oh, yeah. Think about it. Scientific research facilities, sustainable aquaculture farms, all sorts of possibilities.
Okay, I have to admit, that's a pretty cool concept. But let's be real here. Living underwater, that's not exactly a walk in the park.
No, it's not. And they're upfront about that in the plan. They're very aware that they're entering uncharted territory, a whole new market. I mean, there have been underwater habitats before, sure, but they've mostly been for research purposes. And they were incredibly expensive to build and maintain.
Yeah, like that underwater hotel in Florida. Didn't someone say it cost like a fortune to spend the night there?
Yeah, that's the thing. And that seems to be a key selling point for Atlantis Sea Colony. They're aiming to make underwater living affordable, something that's within reach for more than just a handful of billionaires.
Okay, now that's a game changer,
Yeah.
if they can actually pull that off. So how are they going to make this happen? What makes them think they can succeed where others haven't? So spill the beans. What's their secret sauce? How are they going to make this whole underwater living thing actually affordable?
Well, it seems like they're really pushing the boundaries with their research and development. They know underwater construction is a whole different animal.
Yeah, I bet. The pressure alone down there.
Exactly. So they're developing new methods for like pressure testing, and they're using these super strong but lightweight materials for their modular designs. Helps keep the costs down.
Okay, that makes sense. But what about, the practical stuff? Like, how do you get enough air and light down there?
Right. Well, for starters, they're playing around with these massive acrylic windows. Maximize that natural light, Imagine waking up to a view of the ocean depths every morning.
Wow, that would be incredible.
Right. Plus, they're looking at some pretty innovative air conditioning solutions, trying to utilize the ocean's natural temperature gradients to regulate the climate inside.
So, like, using the ocean itself to keep things comfortable.
Pretty much. No more outrageous electricity bills. But then there's the whole issue of keeping these habitats from, floating away. And can't exactly use your grandma's anchor for this.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. So what's the plan there?
Well, they're considering a bunch of different approaches, like some really advanced anchoring systems. They've even tossed around the idea of actually integrating the habitats into the ocean floor, like
Right.
almost like they become part of the seabed, like underwater reefs.
So they wouldn't just be building underwater, they'd be part of the ecosystem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty wild concept when you think about it. Okay, but let's say they can build these things, make them affordable, keep them from floating away. How do they actually plan on, making money? What's the business model here?
It's almost like they're trying to sell people on a whole new way of life, not just like a piece of property.
Right, like come for the underwater views, stay for the sustainable off-the-grid lifestyle. I mean, can you imagine the marketing campaign for this thing?
Oh man, the Instagram possibilities alone. But okay, let's get real for a second. This is about more than just cool tech and pretty pictures, right?
Oh, absolutely. There are some big ethical and ecological questions that come with this kind of project.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, who owns the ocean floor anyway?
Yeah.
What happens if we start building all over it?
Well, they do address some of these concerns in the plan. They talk a lot about, using sustainable building practices, minimizing their impact on marine life, all that.
So not just taking from the ocean, but actually trying to give back.
Right. Like they even talk about possibly creating artificial reefs around their habitats to actually encourage biodiversity.
Interesting. It's like they see themselves as pioneers in this whole new frontier, huh?
Yeah, it's a pretty bold vision, that's for sure.
It really makes you think. I mean, this could be the future we're talking about, a future where people are living and working underwater. It's kind of mind-blowing.
No doubt. Definitely a lot to unpack with this one.
Well, there you have it, folks. Affordable underwater homes, thriving businesses, a chance to unlock the secrets of the deep. Atlanta's Sea Colony is certainly dreaming big. And whether they succeed or not, one thing's for sure, they've given us a lot to think about. So until next time, keep your eyes on the horizon, and maybe even glance down every now and then. You never know what the future holds. This has been a deep dive into Atlanta's Sea Colony, the company that wants to make the ocean our new home. See you next time.